Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today we're doing a palette bingo, this time using all Valentine's Day themed palettes. I've done a few different themed palette bingos over the last few years. I did holiday palettes, fall palettes, spooky season palettes, so this just feels like the right time. I realize as I'm filming this that this video will probably come out the day after Valentine's Day, but personally, I don't stop using a palette just because the holiday it is symbolizing has passed, and I'm sure you probably don't either. So this will just be a little bit of fun. I love videos like this because as much as I love doing straight up reviewing where I'm very information heavy, I'm doing comparisons, things like that, this is just more of a playtime for me. It definitely breaks me out of my box creatively as well, which I really appreciate. So let's take a look at the Valentine's Day themed palettes that we're going to be dipping into today. First is this little quad from NARS. This packaging is so cute. I haven't even had a chance to use this yet. This is the Sweet Kiss palette. I really just wanted an excuse to use this palette, so I'm throwing this one in, even though it's only 4 shadows. The Lovesick palette from Wicked Widow. This has been a favorite of mine for a while. This is an older palette. This is not one of the new releases. I just adore this little palette. I think it's so cute and I'm happy to have a reason to play with it today. A couple of newer releases. This is from ColourPop. It's the Shadow of Secrets palette of a dark vampy neutrals color story with this one. I don't know if this actually qualifies as a Valentine's Day palette, but this one's from Gourmand Girls. It's the Bitten palette, and it did come out around the Valentine's palette release schedule. So I'm just going to call it a Valentine's Day palette. I like that it's a little spooky-ooky and, you know, it still has a very traditionally Valentine's Day pink, purple, red type of theme. So I think we can count it. I'm going to anyway. This one I just recently reviewed on my channel. This is the Love Language palette. It's from Odin's Eye in collaboration with Morgan Turner. Very pastel, pretty, more romantic take on Valentine's Day. Look at the little heart-shaped mirror. I think that's so cute. And lastly, another older palette. This one's from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Love and Death palette. This will be really interesting to use in a palette bingo because of these 2 different color stories inside. It's almost like 2 palettes in one. So we'll see where we land with this one. With the exception of this little NARS quad, I do have reviews or videos featuring all of these other palettes. So I'm going to link those in the description box if you want to see an actual swatch and review with a palette featured in today's video. But today we're just playing. I'm going to use a random number generator to select the shades from these palettes. Wish me luck that we get something that makes sense. We'll start with the Sweet Kiss palette from NARS. I used just a little random number generator on Google and I set the maximum to the number of shades in the palette and then I just generate. And I got shade number 2. So we will, oh boy, got this matte pinky shade. Pink is not my most beloved color. Ooh, this feels really nice though. So let's start a collection of my shadows here so I can keep track of what we're going to use. NARS mattes are so soft and velvety. Okay, so that's our first shade. Okay, now for the Lovesick palette, I'm going to adjust my number generator to be 8 shades. I got shade number 7. That's this purple metallic shade. Okay, all right. This one's called Memories. That at least goes well with the pink. So we're working with something here. Those 2 will work well together, I think. I hope. Shadow of Secrets has 15 shades. Most likely going to get a neutral. I hope we don't get a glitter. I really don't want to use glitter today. Okay, I got number 14. Second to last shade again. And that is this, well, that's kind of boring. This matte black shade called Shadow Daddy. I know they have crazy names in these palettes. I'm putting a big old fat swatch on here. So far, so good. We're halfway through. I'm feeling optimistic. Next, we'll go to the Bitten palette. Who knows what we're going to get here. This one has 14 shades. Okay, I got shade number 1. This sparkly, shifty white shade. This one has a very baby pink shift. That's a cute quad. I'm not mad at it. Now let's see what we get from the Love Language palette. Okay, I got shade number 2, which is a super bright pink. I actually haven't worn this one from this palette yet, so guess this is as good a time as any. This one's called Valentine, very fittingly. Ooh, that's bright. That is a bright pink right there. Okay. So far, the color story makes sense. These shades seem like they're all going to work well together, but it's definitely not the color story that I personally would gravitate towards from these palettes. Let's see if we can really throw a wrench in things with this Love and Death palette. Probably end up with blue or something like that. So this is our largest palette. It has 18 shades. And I got shade number 3, which I can already tell you is a bright matte pink. This one right here, called Balcony. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm intimidated by these bright pink colors. It's just not what I normally go for. It's not what I love for myself, for my personal style. I think there's so many people that wear these bright pink colors and it looks so good on them, and I just never felt like that was my reality. But here we are. This is the color story. Okay. Feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the pink, but we're just gonna go for it. I'm very glad that I went super neutral on the rest of my makeup. Whenever I'm doing palette bingos, I tend to go very neutral on my face because I don't know what undertones and colors I'm gonna end up with. So I'm wearing my ColourPop Lip and Cheek Balm in Larchmont Village and the Chocolate Milkshake Lip Balm. These are my little neutral go-to colors that I'm wearing today. All right, why not? Let's do a pink eyeshadow look today. I also have the new Singe Beauty eyeshadow brushes that I want to use, so I'm going to test some of these out today too. It's going to be fun. Let's zoom in and get started. Wish me luck. First things first, I'm starting with my favorite eye base. It's the matte eye primer from Ulta. Then I'm going to use the NARS quad shade, and the shadows in this little Sweet Kiss quad from NARS are named Sweet Kiss 1, 2, 3, 4. So just FYI, that's the shade names. They're not marked on the palette or anything. I had to actually go to the NARS website to find that information. So I'm using the NARS Sweet Kiss 2 shade in my crease area, and this will be mostly just a blender shade for me in this look. Whenever I do a palette bingo, I always want the finished look to really show off or reflect the individual shades that were chosen. I really try my best not to hide any of them, and even though the actual color of the Sweet Kiss 2 eyeshadow doesn't really do a lot of work in the finished look, it does a lot of work as a blender shade. Now I'm going to basically immediately bulldoze over that NARS shade with this bright matte pink from the Nomad Love and Death palette called Balcony. And I'm using this small fluffy brush to really build up that pink shade around the outer corner of the upper and lower lid. And I'm really blending that into the crease as well. At this point in the developing eye look, I still don't really have a plan. I wasn't sure what the finished vision was going to be like, so I was just kind of going with my gut as far as laying down this bright matte pink shade. Like I said, I know I want it to be prominently featured, so bright pink crease it is. That is just the logical progression of the shades in my mind. Now I'm going to shift over to some shimmers. First, this purpley shade from the Wicked Widow palette. This one's called Memories. And I decided to do a spotlight eye type of look. So I started building up this purple shimmer on the inner and outer corners of the lid, leaving some blank space in the center. Once I really started laying down this Memories shade on my eyelid, I got the inkling that this will be too similar in color to the brighter pink Odin's eyeshadow that I planned to put in the center. And ultimately, that is what happened. My go-to method of creating more contrast in this dilemma would be to take that lightest shade, the one from the Gourmand Girls palette, and just pop that right in the center over the pink shadow, the Valentine shadow from the Odin's Eye palette. But I went out on a limb here and I used the matte black shade from the ColourPop palette, the Shadow Daddy color, and I started layering that in with the Wicked Widow shade to act as sort of a black base to make that contrast more intense and make that purple darker instead of using the more white base shade to make the pink lighter. At first, I was a little bit scrambled because it took a while to get it blended in. It would have worked better if I had done the matte black first and then just put the shimmer shadow on top instead of doing the shimmer matte shimmer sandwich that I ended up with. But ultimately, I was able to make it work. But I will be 100% honest with you. There was a time when I was doing this look where I thought I was going to have to scrap this whole video because I felt like I may have just completely messed up my eye look and I was going to have to start it over. It was dicey there for a minute, but I'm glad I trusted the process. I ended up being very happy with how this looked, and I also really had fun problem solving, approaching these shades in a way that was a little bit different than my default, which would have been that lightening of the pink shade with the white Gourmand Girls one, and then using that matte black shade for just like a little smudgy liner. That would be my default. And obviously, it's not like this is a total revolution from what that look would have ultimately resulted in. But it's just nice to experiment a little bit, try a different technique, maybe challenge the thought process around the best way to use certain types of shades. Not to get too philosophical about eyeshadow at the end of the day. It's fun to play with, and I like that I can still have fun after all these years of reviewing makeup and thinking very analytically and, you know, sometimes getting stuck in my ways. I think a lot of people do default back to the same types of looks over and over again, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you are enjoying your process and you are happy with the way you look, whether you're wearing a little bit, a lot, none at all. It's just fun, and I like remembering the enjoyment, the creativity. Even though I'm not a makeup artist, I still have my own eyelids as my canvas, and I think that's really great. That's part of the joy of all of this. So I hope that this, at least if you're not going to do a palette bingo, I hope this at least inspires you to have fun with your makeup. You know, sit down, just play with it. Don't worry about the resulting look and how good or bad or social media worthy or whatever it may be. Just have a good time, let loose, and remember, it can wipe off. Even if this had turned out to be a terrible look, I could have just wiped it off and started over again. And I did get too philosophical about makeup anyway. Sorry about that. Let's go back to my face talking now. I was skeptical from the beginning because of all of the pink, which I just genuinely don't love. I'm sure you're sick of hearing me say that by now. This all came together in the 11th hour. I can't believe it, but I think it actually looks good. I'm still not going to be running back to pink eye looks all the time. The whole time I was putting this eyeshadow on, I was thinking, ugh, this is gonna be my worst palette bingo ever. I'm gonna come out with this terrible look. Like, I really convinced myself that this was gonna look absolutely awful. And honestly, I think it turned out pretty cute. This truly is the essence of why I like to do these videos. It's beyond pushing me out of my comfort zone. It's really pushing my skills, my ability to plan a look, and it also just forces me to complete a look that maybe if I wasn't filming this video, I would have bailed on. And I saw it through to the end and I'm shocked. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. My idea actually ended up panning out, mixing that matte black in with the darker shimmer. Not something that I've really done before in this type of look. And it's now a technique that I can feel a little bit more comfortable with. And I feel like I can take that into future looks. So I'm happy with this, shockingly. Even though this video is definitely going to come out after Valentine's Day, I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you just had fun hanging out and playing with some makeup, watching me stress over wearing pink eyeshadow. I would love to hear what types of palette bingos you want to see next. What do you think about this look? Are you going to be trying a palette bingo with your Valentine's Day palettes? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! This weather is doing a number on my hair. Not that it was thriving to begin with, but anyway. Where was I? Okay. Well, I like that color. And done. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. It's bright. It's bright. Ah, okay. Normally I would say if it looks crazy, trust the process, but I don't know if you should trust the process this time. I'm usually more confident than this. Do I like that? Maybe it actually looks fine and I just don't like pink. I don't know. I can't tell. I was originally thinking that I was going to take this matte black shade and just use it as a smudgy liner, but maybe I'm going to layer it in to make that spotlight eye look more pronounced. Oh, this might mess everything up. Uh-oh. 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 Did I mess it up? Dang, that matte black is way more pigmented than I expected. Uh-oh. Oh no. Uh-oh. Did I mess it up? Oh crap. I think I fixed it. Did I fix it? I'm not feeling very confident in this look. Okay, it probably looks better than I think it does. I'm just gonna keep telling myself that. Be the Delulu you wish to see in the world. Okay. That was a wild ride. She said, sitting in her room by herself, putting on eyeshadow. Like, what? Got my little rose quartz heart earrings on again. Oh, I'm wearing the ColourPop foundation stick. It looks so much better with different prep. For my wear test, it was looking really flaky, and that was just a supremely dry, cold, awful skin day for me, a couple of days. But I babied my skin over the past 2 days, and I used this Tower 28 Daily Barrier Recovery Cream 10 minutes before I put this foundation on, and it is a game changer. I didn't even do the hydrating setting spray, just this moisturizer before, and it looks a million billion times better. If you saw that wear test video, like this whole section was so flaky. This is the winning combo right here, which is great because I love this stuff anyway. Woo, mama. I'm not mad at it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually like it. Took a little bit more work to get it right, but I think it was worth it. It looks cute. I was definitely hoping for more of a vampy, purpley type of vibe, but when am I not hoping for that? Truly. I'm sad. I just got this super, super cute PR package from Huda Beauty. You know that I love my Huda Beauty, and they have new shades in the blush filter, which is my all-time favorite liquid blush. And every time I talk about them, I'm like, I hope we get more shades. I hope we get more shades. And they keep giving me more shades. And this has never happened before, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Tell me why I get this adorable PR package. Look at this giant zipper. I love it. And there's 3 new shades. They are not released yet. And when I open up the package, I'm like, wait, why do these look the same? Instead of all 3 new shades, they accidentally gave me 2 of the same. So I'm missing one of the new shades. And I sat down and I was like, I'm going to film a palette bingo and then I'm going to film with these new shades. And I'm missing one of them and I'm so sad because I was really, really pumped for this. And now I feel like I have to wait until I can go and buy the missing shades so that I can have a comprehensive video. I mean, this is beyond first world problems. I understand that. I fully grasp that. I was just really excited to film that, and I was really excited because of how much I love these blushes, and I like being able to make in-depth, like very comprehensive review type of videos, and I was going to swatch all of the blush filter shades, but I'm missing one, and it would be so annoying to me to have all of them asterisk except one. So I'm going to wait until I can go and buy the one that I'm missing. And honestly, I will just save this extra double for a giveaway or something. But I was super bummed because I was ready. I got my other one all gathered up here. So I'm sorry that I will not be providing that in a more timely manner, but I have to make it the right way. My brain won't let me not do it the right way that it's planned in my head. So mistakes happen. I'm not like mad about it or anything. It's the farthest thing from that. I need to do it. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this type of thing, and I need to do it the right way. So I gotta wait. Sorry. I promise I'll do it though, because I'm really, really excited to do it. Keep an eye out. I'm gonna make it happen. Okay. Thanks for watching. I'm so happy that you're here. I hope you had a good Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, Palentine's Day, Friday, whatever day it was for you. I hope it was good. You deserve it, and you deserve to be treated with love and respect like the treasure that you are, because I love your face. I'll see you real soon. Okay, bye.